Antigua and Barbuda's Citizenship by Investment program has once again become a topic of concern. A confidential memo from the United States government indicates that the nation is one of 4 OECS countries potentially facing U.S. visa restrictions. The memo, leaked and reported by the Washington Post, outlines plans for travel bans or limitations affecting citizens from 36 countries, including Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia, unless they meet new immigration standards within 60 days. We asked Mr. Nuri Katz, the founder of Apex Capital Partners, an acknowledged global leader in the investor immigration and residency planning industry, about the document's credibility.
I've also read about it in the Washington Post, but I have to tell you that this is based also on another leaked memo that was leaked a few months ago to the New York Times, and it seems like it's pretty credible that something exists. We don't know exactly what it is, but something is out there. What also makes it pretty credible is about 10 days ago, the United States banned citizens of a number of countries from entering the United States, and that banned list was on the list that was leaked by the New York Times a few months ago, and so I would assume it's the same with the Washington Post.
The memo, dated June 14, 2025, and signed by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, raises alarms over the sale of citizenship without substantial residency requirements. In the leaked document, the U.S. also expressed concerns about national security, pointing to inadequate civil documentation systems, high rates of visa overstays, and allegations of anti-American activities involving some passport holders. Governments are required to submit an initial action plan by next week, Wednesday at 8 a.m. to outline how they will meet the new criteria or risk facing travel sanctions. So what does this mean for CIPs in Antigua and Barbuda and other Caribbean countries? With over 30 years of experience in global citizenship, Katz believes that Antigua and Barbuda is already meeting the criteria requested by the United States.
If we base our information on what was leaked a few months ago, then things aren't as bad as they seem. What was leaked a few months ago was a list of countries that have CIPs, where the United States was going to give those countries 60 days to stop accepting citizens that are banned in the United States. In other words, citizens of countries that now are not allowed into the United States. Many of those countries, the CIP countries, Antigua and Barbuda and others, already don't accept. Adding a few of those countries to the list of countries that will not be accepted for CIP, honestly, is not difficult. And as a matter of fact, citizens of those countries are not actually involved much in the CIP. So it isn't really a big loss for any of these countries. And I think it's a pretty simple thing to do, and I wouldn't be worried about it.
The U.S. also raised concerns about the lack of proper due diligence, which Katz brushed off as incorrect, since according to him, the Twin Island state has the most robust due diligence process known to man. Meanwhile, Katz says that the U.S. is allowed to have its own national security interest and determine who it will and will not give a visa to.
Visa is not a human right. It's something that each country allows people to have if they choose to and if it's safe for them. So telling Antigua and Barbuda that if Antigua and Barbuda gives out citizenships to citizens of countries that the United States doesn't want, it's not a question really of meddling. Antigua and Barbuda can continue to give citizenship to those countries, But then the United States is allowed freely to just put restrictions on those people. So it's really a choice that Antigua and Barbuda and the other CIP countries are going to have. This isn't an issue of the United States forcing the CIP countries to stop issuing citizenship to anybody. They're just saying that if you're going to create what we might believe will be a hazard to us in determining who we get visas to, then we will just put those restrictions on.
But the United States is not the sole global power exerting pressure on CIP nations. The European Union, for example, is also enhancing its visa regulations, raising concerns about the risk associated with, quote, golden passports, end quote. In March of this year, the Committee on Civil Liberties of the European Parliament voted overwhelmingly to approve new amendments aimed at investor citizenship programs, particularly those from countries that enjoy visa-free access to the EU. The revised visa suspension mechanism allows EU to withdraw visa-free travel in the event of a significant increase in illegal immigration, security issues, or the improper use of asylum processes.
There's a lot of misunderstanding in Europe of how these programs work, like there is many misunderstandings elsewhere about it. There's an impression, even here in Antigua, that people are running around the world handing out passports left and right without it being a process, when actually the legal process of receiving citizenship through investment is an incredibly rigorous process that can take from 6 months up to a year and a half of due diligence. And I think that Europe doesn't really understand it well enough. And I think also, in all honesty, a number of the countries in the Caribbean haven't been able to explain it well enough to Europe. So I think that there's going to be a process of negotiation.
To qualify for citizenship under the CIP, individuals or families of up to 4 can make a minimum non-refundable contribution of US $230,000 to Antigua and Barbuda's National Development Fund. The CIP is a significant source of revenue for Antigua and Barbuda, funding vital programs such as Social Security and other state initiatives. Katz says this is also the same for other CIP countries.
In a number of the countries where they have CIPs, those countries are very heavily dependent on the income generated from CIP. In Antigua, actually, less so than the other countries. But I think that losing this type of non-tax revenue would be very harmful for the economies of all of these countries and for the economy of Antigua and Barbuda. Unfortunately, we've seen here in Antigua and Barbuda that a number of industries that were created were because of, we can call it meddling or we can call it other things. Antigua and Barbuda has been forced to close those industries down, including the gaming industry and other industries. And so, including the offshore business industry. I hope that the CIP doesn't become a victim of that meddling also. I don't think it should. I think that, again, there is no risk in the CIP. And it's good for the country, it's good for the people who receive the citizenship, and it adds a lot to the economy, and I believe and I hope that it will continue to flourish.
Despite the issues raised, the government has consistently defended the program as crucial for economic growth and has sought to enhance its vetting procedures over the years. All this comes as the U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown has refused to confirm or deny the allegations when our Foreign Affairs Minister EPD Green reached out to the office. They simply said, quote, "We will get back to you," end quote. Speaking of EPD Green, he told reporters this week that Antigua and Barbuda will not be bullied, saying clearly that the country's foreign policy is one of principle. In defense of the country's CIP, Green told reporters that Antigua and Barbuda will be fighting like hell to defend the CIP program. He said, quote, "They want to impose travel restrictions on us. For what reason, God knows," end quote. Minister Green noted that the CIP program benefits Antigua and Barbuda and is operated with integrity. This has been a production of Antigua.news. I am Shemaine Big Charles. Illuminate your space with style and efficiency through our unbeatable selection of outdoor and indoor ceiling lights. Stay cool and comfortable with our range of ceiling fans, perfect for any occasion. Need to tackle those do-it-yourself projects? Our top quality hardware tools have got you covered. Upgrade your bathroom with our stunning vanities that combines elegance and functionality. Beat the heat with our energy-efficient air conditioning units. But that's not all. We sell sand, stones, cement, you name it, we've got it. Wait, fed up with your nosy neighbor? Get your smart fence and keep your business. Well, just that, your business. Don't have enough cash? That's easy. With affordable plans to suit your pocket and your lifestyle, let us take care of your payment plans. Your home, your style, our products. Visit us today at Casada Gardens and find everything you need to make your home a haven.